Hello, how are you doing? Oh man. So, today is just another day. You know, I'm not doing anything really. I'm always not doing anything. I feel like I always say that in my video, but I say that because I'm recording a video, but I'm not doing anything besides recording this video. So, that's what I mean, I guess. But anyways, there's nothing special to talk about. Nothing special. And oops, sorry for the noise. Sorry for the noise. It's the guys are having a blast, celebrating, drinking, playing video games. You know, having a blast. It's exam time, by the way, and they're enjoying themselves. Such is the life of a university student, I guess. This whole college student, university student. You go to class, you know, when you like, you come back and you party. You're a party animal. I mean, some kids focus on studies. You know, some kids focus on parties. Some kids focus on events. Some participate in some kind of groups. You know. Now, if you're wondering if which category, which category I fall under, well, who knows? I don't fall under any category really. You know, I'm not gonna say the reason. I'm not gonna state the reason, but you know, it's just mundane. I think. All this group stuff, you know, it's mundane to me. I'm not saying that, I mean, it's good, to fall under a group, I guess. But, yeah, it's just, group is a group, man. It's just a bunch of groups. Can choose to fall under any group, and I don't care really. But if I were to say which group I fall under, I'd say I'm not really interested in parties or things like that. So definitely not that group. I'm not interested in, I guess, sports, events, stuff like that, entertainment. It's just mundane to me, tedious, man, mundane, boring. So, which group do I prefer? Well, I guess if I were to choose, which group I prefer, I'd say I'd say probably I'll join. Okay, if I were to decide to join one group, I would join the nerds group, the geeks, something like that. You know, I think nerds. I know people call them losers, blah blah blah, but I think they are the real G's. The nerds, geeks. I mean, maybe not geeks. I mean, what's the difference between nerd and geek? I guess geek is making it your life. you embody your nerd character. You're a full nerd, from head to toe, completely. And then a nerd is, not everything about you is, I don't know, like nerdy or something. I don't know, man. What's the difference? I'm not sure, but I do my research. But yeah, anyways, if I were to choose a group you know, to fall under, I prefer the nerd group because I think, nerds are, as much as people call them losers, I think they are the cool ones, because they know so much information. They know everything about everything. They know anything about everything. They know everything about anything. Yeah. Well, not everything, but they know stuff. They, they're out there experimenting stuff. They're smart, you know. They do all this cool stuff, man. And then the cool guys, the dumbasses. Like what? Just because you party, you drink, you smoke, you get girls, or I don't know, man. You fail classes, makes you cool. How does failing make you cool? That's stupid. I mean, maybe I'm just, looking at this from a movie's point of view, but the cool guys, the guys that people call cool in school, like those guys are not interesting to me. Like they're not cool, bro. They're uncool. Like I don't know what to say, man. They're just they're dumbasses. They're idiots. I'm not saying that because I'm jealous or envious. I don't really care, you know. I don't really care. But yeah, anyways, I think the nerds are the cool guys, are the real cool guys, because they know stuff. They're smart. They know information. They have knowledge. You know, and then the cool guys, like what do they do, bruv? Okay, they play sports. Okay, that's cool. I mean, looking at it from a movie's perspective, playing sports is cool, I guess. It's cool. But parties, and I mean, if you're a party animal or you like, fun, I guess, then I guess that's cool, But I guess I'm saying this, I'm saying the cool guys are uncool because, I'm not interested in parties and things like that. That's the reason why I'm saying it, I guess. I mean, I'm not a nerd, you know. I don't want to be a nerd. Like it is what it is. I'm just saying, I would choose a nerd group. Oops. I'll choose a nerd group over, the cool guy group or something like that. But I'm not a nerd. I'm not a cool guy. I'm neutral, in between. In between. Yeah, in between. Well, I'm not smart. I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm not saying I'm cool either. That's why I'm saying I'm neutral, in between, undecided. Who knows, man? What am I? But I would like to be smart. Information it's important. It's being knowledgeable about things is interesting. It's cool. Imagine engaging in a conversation in every conversation, you know, you have a group of people talking about sports or something. It's an example, sports, and then you come along, you you any- you can engage in that conversation. Ah, yeah, sports. Ah, boom, boom, boom. You talk your stuff, and then another group talks about, I don't know, man, like science. And you come along, you talk your stuff about science. Yeah, man. Yeah, remember back then when this guy discovered blah 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 science stuff. Who cares? And then another group talks about like some kind of stuff like traveling or something. And then you come along, you contribute to your opinions. Like you are. I guess you are a jack of all trades. You know, that's interesting to me. That's what's interesting to me. Not like a party animal and all the cool sports I know. You know, everyone knows me. I mean, being known or knowing people is it's a good thing. Because like you have connections. Connections are are a very good thing. They're useful, resourceful. It's being resourceful, having connections. you know, Knowing everything about, oh, I know that place, that guy, there's Jimmy, he's, boom, boom, all this stuff. You know stuff. That's cool. But yeah, back to the point, being a jack of all trades is what's interesting to me. I know about sports, even just a little bit, I know a little bit so I can contribute to a conversation about sport. I can contribute to a conversation about science. I can contribute to a conversation about whatever. It's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, I'm neutral, man. I'm neutral. I don't really know which group I belong to. Call me a misfit. I'm a nomad. That's interesting. That's interesting also. A nomad. I'm just wandering around aimlessly. Not aimlessly, but well, I'm just wandering around, man. You know, in the end, I'm gonna end somewhere. Even if I'm aimlessly, I'm being aimlessly. There's definitely a place I'm headed towards. As long as I keep moving forward. I guess I'm lost. Interesting. I mean, we are all lost, anyways. You know, and I think that's life. In the beginning, we are all lost. We just have to find our way in life. That's what the meaning of life means. I'm telling you right now, yo, we're to sage. The meaning of life is to, yeah, but yeah, we are all lost. We are all just trying to find our way. So yeah, I guess I'm at that stage. I'm focused on finding my way. Seeing that, I'm interested in a bunch of stuff. More, other than just technology. History intrigues me a bit. Like what the First World War was about. You know, when was the internet created? These wonderful, these amazing, extraordinary creations are usually a product of war. It's interesting. Everything great today like the internet, I guess AI. I'm not sure about other stuff, but anything amazing, anything that's wildly used nowadays. Anything useful, anything cool, I guess, or most stuff like that is usually a product of war. You know, it was created for the sole purpose of gaining an advantage in the field. You know, so yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I didn't mean to talk for that long. You know, that's my other problem. I'm suffering from verbosity. It's a disease. It's killing me slowly. The disease of verbosity. I have a verbose disease. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hope you're doing good. And yeah, boom.